Hello, and welcome to Hypano, where we bring you the latest news briefings and analysis on global affairs, geopolitics, and technologies. This hour in focus, we are exploring the huge call by Russian foreign minister as he attacks the West as empire of lies. But before we proceed, please kindly like and subscribe to this channel by clicking the bell notification feature below to help YouTube learn of your preferences and to receive notifications each time new videos are uploaded on this channel. Let's get going. After a week at the United Nations General Assembly that was dominated by discussion of Russia's war in Ukraine, Moscow struck back on Saturday, with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov addressing delegates first in a speech to the General Assembly Hall, and then turning to the international press in a wide-ranging briefing full of recriminations against the West, which he described as an empire of lies. In the speeches of many speakers who spoke before me, the idea was already voiced that our common planet is undergoing irreversible changes, and a new world order is being born before our eyes, Lavrov said in his address to other member states. It has been said that the contours of the future are being created in the struggle between the world majority, who advocate a more equitable distribution of global wealth and civilizational diversity, and between those few who use neocolonial methods of subjugation to maintain their elusive dominance. This week, Lavrov would not have been the first person to claim that antiquated global governance systems are hindering progress towards achieving climate and economic justice. But he was most concerned about Ukraine's Western supporters and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is a collective defense organization that was established in the aftermath of World War II to safeguard Western nations against the Soviet Union. Lavrov issued a warning on Saturday that he considered the United States, the United Kingdom, and other countries to be directly at war with us. This came as Russia's war in Ukraine continues to drag on and Western allies continue to send military supplies to Kyiv. Lavrov stated to the media that we can call this a hybrid war, but that doesn't change the reality, adding, they are effectively engaged in hostilities, with us using the Ukrainians as fodder. Lavrov was dismissive of a peace framework that was suggested by Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, calling it not feasible. Both the cession of Ukrainian territory to Russia and the abandonment of Kyiv's efforts to join the North Atlantic Treaty Organization are non-negotiable components of the plan, and both are major stumbling blocks for Moscow. The notion of Russia going back on the Black Sea grain deal was ruled out by the country's Minister of Foreign Affairs, who stated that the Kremlin believed it had been tricked. The main reason why we left this deal and it ceased to exist is that everything that was promised to us turned out to be a deception, Lavrov said. This was the main reason why we left this deal. After stating for some time that it had been prohibited from adequately exporting its own foodstuffs, Russia announced in July that it was withdrawing from the arrangement that was brokered by the United Nations. The now-defunct agreement had allowed Ukraine to export much-needed grain by sea, with ships able to get under a blockade imposed by Russia in order to reach markets in other parts of the world. The United Nations, UN, which was established in the 1940s, does in some ways reflect a different period. For example, the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council hold an excessive amount of influence within the organization. However, as one of the so-called P5 countries, Russia has also considerably benefited from the existing arrangement, most notably through the use of its veto power to block resolutions concerning the war it is currently waging in Ukraine. Ukraine has stated that Russia should be removed of its veto power on the Security Council and expelled from the organization for infringing a key tenet of the United Nations, which is the violation of the territorial sovereignty of a fellow member state. This statement is among the many improvements to the United Nations that have been advocated from many corners. That's where we wrap things up for the time being. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.